Hi, I'm Ori and I'm the Starlight Witch. In my last few videos, I've been introducing myself as Kiki, but due to some personal reasons, I've changed it to Ori. I'm recording this video later than I was hoping. I hope I can get it out on time. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Imbolc, what it is and how you can celebrate, along with how to celebrate it in a Hellenic Pagan way. Imbolc takes place usually on February 1st or February 2nd, and it starts the night before you actually celebrate. So if you decide to celebrate it on the 1st, you will start on the night of the 31st, or if you decide to celebrate on the 2nd, you start on the night of the 1st. I'm going to go over a little bit of an overview of information on it, crystals and herbs to have around this time, foods and drinks, their decorations, traditional deities, and Hellenic deities, along with how to celebrate. Imbolc is widely associated with the Wiccan Wheel of the Year. It is the third Wiccan Sabbath or holiday, but the first one of the Gregorian calendar year. I believe for traditional Wicca, Imbolc celebrates when the triple goddess returns to her maiden form and the horned god is now a young boy and he grows with the growing light. I'm not Wiccan, so I apologize if this information is not correct. You don't need to be Wiccan to celebrate. Many non-Wiccans celebrate the Wheel of the Year, and you don't need to celebrate in a religious way or with deities either. The Wheel of the Year may be more modern, but Imbolc is not. Imbolc does not come from Wicca. It's the Celtic celebration of spring. It takes place between the winter solstice and the spring equinox. It also honors Bridget or Breed, the Celtic goddess of fertility, fire, the hearth, healing, poetry, and smithcraft. Imbolc is the time of the year where you can start seeing the frost melt and the first signs of life reappear. Traditionally, it started the night before the actual day of celebration, so either the 1st or the 2nd. But on the night before you celebrate, families would create a doll of Bridget called a breed yoke. I apologize if I do not pronounce that correct. It was traditionally made out of corn husks, but there are several other materials you can use. I personally usually use string if I make one. The doll would be dressed and put into a basket made into a bed overnight, and this would welcome Bridget to the home for blessings. The day of Imbolc, candles were usually lit to honor Bridget. If you made a Bridget cross last year, I believe it is traditionally burned on Imbolc and a new one is created. And the Bridget cross is traditionally made out of reeds, but there are other ingredients you can use as well, such as wheat, for example. Christianity took over the goddess Bridget and turned her into Saint Bridget, and the 1st of February is also the Christian holiday known as Candlemas, which is when I believe all the candles are blessed by Saint Bridget. However, I'm less knowledgeable on this and I don't know if that's 100% correct. So even though Imbolc is traditionally a Celtic celebration honoring Bridget, you could alter and redirect it towards Hellenic paganism. For example, you could honor Gaia and Pan to honor the earth and nature's transformation. Pan is also a god of shepherds and associated with sheep, a sacred animal to Bridget and Imbolc. Artemis could be honored for births. Hestia could be honored with fire, the hearth, and blessing your home. And it could also be a time to honor Demeter for fertility and Persephone's approaching return, but not her full return. I personally do not celebrate Imbolc because it is a Celtic holiday and it doesn't really fit with my beliefs. I'm making this video for, in particular, Hellenic pagans who come from more of a Wiccan background. I started as a Wiccan, so I used to celebrate. So this is mostly for people who don't want to get rid of the holiday completely, but it could also be for Hellenic pagans who are looking for more ways to honor the Theio. So some themes surrounding Imbolc are renewal, transformation, blessings, fertility, growth, fire, and return of the light. Some crystals are rose quartz for harmony, peace, and positivity, carnelian for fertility, vitality, and fire, moonstone for rebirth and transformation, fluorite for growth, grounding, emotional balance, and harmony, moss agate for abundance, self-growth, prosperity, harmony, and fertility, orange calcite for fire, joy, and vitality. And you can use these crystals by just keeping them around, carrying them with you, decorating your altar with them. Some herbs and plants are snowdrop, which is a sacred flower to Bridget and Imbolc, crocuses for new beginnings, renewal, and rebirth, chamomile for healing, peace, abundance, and prosperity, basil for happiness, abundance, and prosperity, lavender for peace and harmony, and rosemary for fire and prosperity. And you can use these herbs in meals or just keep them around. Some foods and drinks are milk, cheese, butter, and really any dairy product, bread, honey, seeds, and lamb. Some colors are white, pink, yellow, light green, and light blue. Some altar decor are snowdrops, seeds, sprouting plants, associated animals, statues, symbols, or pictures, and associated Theio or gods, symbols, pictures, or statues. Then some traditional altar decor that is not Hellenic paganism, a Bridget cross, a bride, Bridget's bed, Bridget symbols, pictures, or a statue. And then some animals are sheep, lambs in particular, cows, bees, snakes, and hares. Some Theio to honor around this time is Gaia, Pan, Artemis, Hestia, Demeter, and Persephone. And then traditional deities are Bridget. I have ways to celebrate in general, Hellenic pagan ways to celebrate, and traditional ways to celebrate, which are physically and spiritually cleansing yourself and your space. The next couple things are Hellenic paganism, so if that doesn't apply to you, then you can skip past it. Give prayers and offerings to Gaia to honor the earth's transformation. Give prayers and offerings to Pan to honor nature's transformation and sheep. Give prayers and offerings for Artemis for births. Light a candle, or if you have one, a hearth for Hestia for home blessings. Give prayers and offerings to Demeter for fertility, whether that's for yourself, someone else, or just the earth. And remind her that the new sprouting plants are a sign that Persephone will return soon. Give prayers and offerings to Persephone to honor her approaching return, but not her full return yet. And now back to non-Hellenic pagan ways to celebrate. You could start a indoor garden. It will probably still be too cold outside. Plant each seed with a intention or manifestation, and as that plant grows, so does the intention or manifestation. You could also just get new house plants. Go for a nature walk and really try and pay attention to the changing environment. Do a connecting to the earth ritual, whether that's meditating outside or giving a offering to the earth. Do a fertility ritual for the earth. Honor fire in some way, so light a candle, light a hearth if you have one. You could have a bonfire. Just find some way to honor fire and light. When you have some sort of fire lit, you can speak intention or manifestation into the fire. Now would be a good time to try scrying. I think that's how you pronounce it. I could be wrong. But scrying is a form of divination. So try scrying with flame. Do some sort of divination reading to see what is defrosting in your life. And then you can have an Imbolc feast using some of the foods I listed earlier. And if you are vegan or you can't have dairy any dairy replacements like oat milk is perfectly acceptable. And then some traditional Celtic celebrations are making a Bridget cross, usually out of fresh reeds, and hanging it above your door to welcome in blessings. Make a bread yog, traditionally out of corn husks, but there are several other things you can use as well. Clothe her in a dress, and some people also make a male doll to accompany her. Usually this is done for more fertility. And you can make a Bridget's bed either by weaving a basket or just taking a basket you already have and putting blankets in it. Place the doll or dolls inside overnight to welcome blessings into your home. Light candles, or if you have a hearth, light a hearth for Bridget. Bridget is a goddess of poetry, so you could always write some poetry to honor her. So those are some ways you could celebrate. I personally don't usually celebrate because, like I said, it is a Celtic tradition, so I personally think it should stay that way. I made this video for Hellenic Pagans who may have come from Wicca, who don't really want to completely get rid of the celebration. This video is also for anyone else who wants to celebrate. I will probably make a video showing you me celebrating it this year, even though I usually don't, just so people can actually see how I do those rituals if I were to do them. I hope this video was helpful and enjoyable, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!